or early. In the seconds before you step in front of the people who count on you to be the one with plenty to give, you straighten yourself. You fix your expression into something that reads as abundance. You let them see a vessel that brims, because the ones who draw from you only ever look at the top of the jar. The top must never show how far down it has gone. I feel the whole cost of that act. Every bit of effort it takes to seem overflowing while you feel wrung dry. I have counted. And in this quiet, you can set the act down. Here the jar may look as empty as it truly feels. Consider how differently two people carry the same jar. One is certain the fullness has to arrive from outside. So every lean day frightens them. Every silence feels like a door being shut. And they spend their strength listening for a delivery, rationing their hope, bracing for the disappointment. The other knows the treasure is already sealed in. So the same lean day becomes survivable. The same silence becomes bearable. Because the fullness was never riding on what the day happened to bring. Nothing about their circumstances is different. The bills are the same. The waiting is the same. What changes is whether they believe there is anything in the vessel. When the surface goes quiet, and that one belief changes how every empty-seeming hour lands on them. And here is the strange thing about your emptiness. It has never once been a verdict on you. You have read it as proof. Proof that you were passed over. That the blessing went to other addresses and skipped yours. That you are simply one of those whose jar never seems to fill. But the emptiness you keep measuring is only the space where you have been looking for the wrong kind of fullness. You kept waiting for something to arrive from the outside and clatter into the jar. Meanwhile, the real treasure had already been set inside. So quietly, so far down, it made no sound when you shook it. Hear this, because it changes how you see all that waiting. The hunger in you to be filled. It was never a flaw. You were made to hold something. You were made to be a vessel. And a vessel that longs to be full is only doing what it was shaped to do. That reaching was never wrong. You reached for fullness because you were built to carry it. The only thing that went wrong is that you were told the fullness would come rattling in from outside, on a truck, on a deadline. All along, it had been poured in at the bottom. It was only waiting for you to stop shaking the jar, long enough to feel its weight. The picture of me you have been holding all these years was painted by people who taught you that provision is a wage. That if you wait long enough, believe hard enough, and prove yourself faithful enough, then one day the shipment finally arrives. The jar is filled from the outside as your reward. You learn to read me as a God who keeps the good thing back in a storeroom somewhere. He hands it over, only when you have earned the release. So you have poured your years into qualifying for a yes. You check the door. You listen for the sound of an answer. You grieve the days nothing comes. And you begin to wonder whether your name was ever on the manifest at all. And the cruelest part of that lesson was what it did to your sense of yourself. If provision is a wage, then an empty jar can only mean one thing: you have not earned it. So every lean season turned into an accusation. Every delay turned into a grade. You started to believe that the emptiness was me withholding, that the withholding was a message about your worth, that if you were only more disciplined, more grateful, more faithful, the jar would finally fill. That is not how I provide, and it was never how I saw you. I do not fill the deserving and starve the rest. I placed the treasure in the clay, before the clay had done a single thing to deserve it, which is the whole reason it can never be taken back for anything you fail to do. So you learned to take the temperature of your life to find out where you stood with me. A generous week. And you decided I was pleased and the jar was filling. A lean week. A closed door. A silence where you wanted a yes. And you decided I had turned away. The jar was draining. You made your circumstances the gauge, painted on the side of the vessel, and you have been reading that gauge for years, rising and falling with it, sure that what the week held was the same as what I held for you. But that gauge was never measuring the treasure. It was only ever tracking the rise and fall of your days, never the things sealed underneath them. Now hear the turn, because everything pivots on this single line. I did not leave your treasure in a storeroom, not shipped to you once your faith reaches the right weight. I placed it inside you already. The vessel you have judged as empty